J.J. Redick, Lakers must get into championship shape this offseason. The Los Angeles Lakers' 2024-25 season came to an early end after a tough first-round playoff exit against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Despite their efforts, the Lakers fell in 5 games, struggling to match Minnesota's size, physicality, and intensity, especially down the stretch in fourth quarters. If you are new here, leave your like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates. Head coach J.J. Redick didn't sugarcoat the challenges. In his end-of-season press conference, he reflected on the team's inability to close games and the clear need for improvement, both physically and strategically. This offseason has to be about one thing: getting into championship shape, Redick said. We've got a long way to go as a roster. Some guys are already in phenomenal shape, and others clearly have work to do. But if we want to compete at the highest level next season, we all need to come back ready to go from day one. The Lakers are expected to undergo roster changes this summer, potentially building with Luka Doncic in mind. But Redick emphasized that talent alone isn't enough. Conditioning and preparation must be at the core of the team's culture. I know Rob Pelinka is focused on the roster, and yeah, we found some ways to make this group work, Redick continued. I trust every guy in that locker room. But individual improvement is just the start. The real question is, who are we going to be on October 1st? That's the mindset. How do we as a staff maximize this group, whatever it looks like? Whether it's May 1st or August 1st, we need to be ready. To support that goal, the Lakers plan to roll out personalized off-season training programs for each player, with a focus on helping them return in peak condition ahead of training camp. We'll be working closely with our player development coaches and performance team over the next few weeks to build out those plans, Redick said. It's not about completely overhauling a player's routine, but we want everyone to have a clear roadmap, so when they return in August or September, we're not starting from scratch. We're building on something. One stat that stands out: the Lakers averaged just 17 points in fourth quarters during the playoffs, a number that underscores Redick's urgency. Physical readiness could be the key to flipping that script next year, especially with a potential star like Doncic in the mix. Rob Pelinka stresses need to bolster the center position. Beyond conditioning, the Lakers also need reinforcements. President of Basketball Operations Rob Pelinka has acknowledged that adding size, particularly at the center position, is a top priority. Who that player might be is still unclear, but one thing is certain: this offseason will be crucial in shaping a team capable of contending again. The ripple effects of Redick's comments, and the Lakers' early exit, have already started to stir conversation around the league. Analysts and former players have weighed in, pointing to the Lakers' lack of energy late in games as a glaring weakness that cost them dearly. Championships aren't won in April, they're won with the habits you build in August and September, one Western Conference scout noted. You could see it. By the fourth quarter, Minnesota had more left in the tank. The Lakers were just gassed. This raises even more urgency around what kind of off-season plan the Lakers will execute. With LeBron James turning 40 in December and Anthony Davis carrying a heavy load on both ends, the margin for error is thinner than ever. Conditioning isn't just a nice-to-have, it's a necessity. Especially if Los Angeles wants to make a legitimate run before its championship window narrows further. Internally, Redick's approach appears to have the backing of the front office. Rob Pelinka's off-season strategy will reportedly focus on 3 pillars: improving team conditioning, adding size and physicality in the front court, and potentially pursuing a third star, Luka Doncic being the dream scenario, though any major move would require creative roster maneuvering. The league is evolving, Pelinka said during his own post-season presser. To compete deep into May and June, you need versatility, endurance, and toughness. That starts now, not in training camp, not in January. Right now. The Lakers are expected to evaluate the free agent and trade markets aggressively, particularly for size at the center position. With limited cap flexibility, Pelinka may need to rely on sign-and-trade scenarios or mid-level exceptions. Names like Jonas Valanciunas, Isaiah Hartenstein, and even Miles Turner have quietly surfaced in speculative circles. Still, the organization is keeping its cards close to the vest. Meanwhile, Redick's first off-season as head coach will be a major test, not just tactically, but in how he sets a new tone for the franchise. Known for his intense preparation and communication style, Redick is aiming to foster a culture of accountability and professionalism that stretches beyond game nights. Look, we can talk XS and OS all day, Redick said. But the truth is, if we're not taking care of our bodies, If we're not physically and mentally locked in before the season even starts, we're playing catch-up from day one. And in this league, you can't afford that. The Lakers will soon begin exit interviews and medical evaluations, followed by individual off-season planning. Team officials hinted that voluntary workouts in Las Vegas or Miami may be on the table as part of a larger push to unify the group and lay down the foundation early. With the spotlight always on Los Angeles, there's little room for error. And this summer, every decision, from training schedules to roster moves, will speak volumes about how serious the Lakers are about chasing banner No. 18. Lakers rumors. LeBron James expected to return for 2025-26 season amid Bryce draft buzz. LeBron James just wrapped up his 22nd NBA season, not with a bang, but with a quiet exit in the first round of the playoffs, as the Los Angeles Lakers were eliminated by the Minnesota Timberwolves in just 5 games. Despite entering the series as slight favorites, the Lakers were outmatched from the opening tip. Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves imposed their will with relentless defense and blistering pace, ending the purple and gold's postseason dreams before they ever got off the ground. Now, the Lakers face a pivotal offseason. And no question looms larger than this: what's next for LeBron James? As he's done in past years, LeBron didn't commit to anything definitive when asked about his future. But according to Shams Charania of ESPN, all signs currently point to a return for the 2025-26 season, and possibly beyond. There's no indication that LeBron is preparing to retire, Charania reported. From what I understand, he's expected to play at least one more season. The 2025-26 season would be his 23rd year in the league, matching his iconic jersey number. It's also worth noting the All-Star Game will be in Los Angeles that year. A lot of stars seem to be aligning. LeBron turns 41 this December, and while most players would have hung up their sneakers long ago, he continues to defy age, logic, and expectations. But there may be another reason he's considering extending his career. His youngest son, Bryce James, is potentially eligible for the 2026 NBA draft. If Bryce shows the development to make the leap, LeBron could choose to extend his career just long enough to share the court, or at least the league, with another of his sons. That's the X factor, Charania added. If LeBron believes Bryce can be draft-ready in 2026, that could absolutely keep him in the league beyond next season. It's never felt like LeBron would walk away after this season. And now, with the 2026 draft on the horizon and plenty still to play for, the Lakers can move forward planning with him firmly in mind. Importantly, Los Angeles does own its first-round pick in 2026, fueling speculation that Bryce could one day wear the same jersey as his legendary father. LeBron praises J.J. Redick's first year as Lakers head coach. While the season didn't end the way they hoped, there were bright spots, including the emergence of J.J. Redick as a strong voice in the locker room. Redick, in his first season as an NBA head coach, earned LeBron's respect for his leadership and composure under pressure. "I think JJ had an incredible first season as a head coach," LeBron said. "Being a rookie coach in the NBA is already tough, but being a rookie coach for the Lakers? That's a whole different challenge. And I thought he handled it beautifully." LeBron highlighted Redick's commitment to growth, his willingness to hold players accountable, and the energy he brought to a team that needed it. "He pushed us. He motivated us. He held us to a standard," James continued. "JJ and his staff did a great job all year long, and I truly believe he's going to be a great coach in this league for a long time." As the Lakers prepare for another defining offseason, with a possible roster retool, the looming Bryce draft question, and LeBron's legendary timeline still unfolding, it's clear the organization is committed to building something sustainable around their superstar. And if LeBron's staying, the rest of the league better pay attention. A franchise at a crossroads, but with a clear centerpiece. With LeBron James likely returning for year 23, and his influence on and off the court as strong as ever, the Lakers find themselves at a crucial pivot point. The organization must now build around a still elite but aging superstar, while planning for the future that could include his son Bryce. Sources close to the team suggest that the front office is treating this offseason as a legacy-defining moment, not just for the franchise, but for LeBron himself. The possibility of the NBA's first father-son duo playing simultaneously in the league, and potentially for the same team, is more than just a storyline. It's a marketing and basketball milestone the Lakers are uniquely positioned to capitalize on. Adding to that, the 2026 NBA All-Star Weekend, set to be hosted in Los Angeles, could serve as a symbolic tribute to LeBron's career. The idea of him participating, possibly in his final All-Star game, in front of the home crowd, makes the prospect of keeping him in purple and gold even more enticing. But symbolism alone won't be enough. The Lakers are expected to aggressively explore roster upgrades this summer, with a focus on adding size and depth at the center position, as both J.J. Redick and Rob Pelinka have acknowledged. Targeting another playmaker or shot creator to ease the offensive burden on LeBron and Anthony Davis. Maximizing younger talent, such as Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura, who are expected to be integral in any revamped game plan. J.J. Redick's vision, culture, conditioning and commitment. Behind the scenes, Redick is already working closely with Lakers performance staff and assistant coaches to craft customized off-season programs for each player. His message is clear: showing up in shape isn't optional, it's the standard. He wants a team that's not just talented, but relentless, said one team insider. He's focused on building habits, routines, and accountability from the first day of the offseason, not just once training camp begins. This aligns with LeBron's own work ethic, which has long set the tone for every team he's led. If the rest of the roster follows suit, the Lakers could return next season not just hungry, but prepared to compete on a championship level from the jump. League reactions and fan expectations. Across the league, news of LeBron's likely return has sparked a mix of admiration and anticipation. Several current and former players have publicly expressed awe at his longevity, and curiosity about what this next chapter might hold. If anyone's going to play 23 seasons and still be dominant, it's Bron, said former teammate Dwayne Wade. And if he gets to play with Bryce? That's bigger than basketball. Lakers fans, too, are watching with cautious optimism. After a roller coaster season and a frustrating early playoff exit, many see the 2025-26 campaign as a final window to chase another title with LeBron and AD still at the helm. Whether that includes Bryce or not, one thing is clear: LeBron James isn't finished yet. And with a motivated head coach, a focused front office, and history potentially in the making, the Lakers have every reason to believe that their best story might still be unwritten. LeBron James reflects on the Lakers' missed opportunities in Game 4. Closing quarters is crucial. Game 4 was a gut punch for the Los Angeles Lakers. Multiple times throughout the night, they held solid leads, up by as much as 8 points, and each time, they had chances to break the game wide open. But instead of building momentum, they let it slip through their fingers. Despite strong efforts from LeBron James and Luka Doncic, it was Anthony Edwards who took over for the Timberwolves, especially when it mattered most, at the end of quarters. The Lakers' biggest weakness in Game 4 wasn't effort or talent, it was their inability to finish. They failed to close out quarters with discipline and urgency, letting Minnesota claw back in again and again. And in the fourth, the Wolves capitalized, taking the lead and eventually the win, putting the Lakers in a 3-1 hole and on the brink of elimination. After the game, LeBron James didn't sugarcoat the problem. Speaking with Spectrum Sportsnet, he acknowledged just how costly those lapses were. It was crucial, James said. In a playoff game, closing quarters is everything. And we didn't do it in the first, the second, or the fourth. We did a decent job in the third, but we let them hang around too many times. It's definitely been a challenge for us. Letting control slip away. Every time the Lakers seemed ready to take control, every time they had a chance to step on the gas, they stalled. And James knows that in the playoffs, you can't afford to give away moments. You can't afford to give away quarters. It felt like we were about to separate, and then we just didn't, James reflected. In the playoffs, that's how you lose games. And that's how you lose series. It wasn't just missed shots or defensive lapses. It was a pattern of letting the Timberwolves steal back momentum when the Lakers needed to close the door. Those missed chances have become a recurring issue, and if the Lakers want any hope of turning the series around, that's the first thing they need to fix. Now it's win or go home, and LeBron's been here before. Down 3-1, the Lakers face a steep climb. They'll need 3 straight wins to advance, a feat few teams have pulled off. But if there's anyone in the NBA who knows how to lead a comeback from that exact position, it's LeBron James. And he isn't backing down. You take it one game at a time, James said. That's all that matters right now. We can't win 3 games in one night. It starts with Game 5. We've got to lock in and treat it like it's our last, because it might be. LeBron's mindset is clear, no panic, just purpose. He's been through these wars before, and he understands that the path to survival starts with laser focus, not on the next round, not on history, but on the next possession. A chance to respond. Game 5 won't just test the Lakers' skill, it'll test their character. Can they execute when it counts? Can they stop the bleeding at the end of quarters? Can they match the Timberwolves' energy and intensity for a full 48 minutes? If they don't, the season ends on their home floor. But if they do, if they clean up the details, stay locked in, and follow the lead of a veteran who's been here before, the story isn't over yet. As LeBron reminded his team, as long as there's a game to play, we've still got a chance. Pressure mounts as Game 5 becomes the defining moment of the season. As the Lakers prepare for Game 5 at Crypto.com Arena, the mood surrounding the team is one of urgency, tinged with uncertainty. The margin for error is gone. Every possession matters. Every rotation, every defensive switch, every late quarter shot could decide whether the Lakers extend their season or watch it end. Around the league, analysts are sounding the alarm. On Inside the NBA, Charles Barkley didn't mince words. The Lakers can't keep letting teams hang around. You've got to stomp on the gas when you've got the chance. Minnesota's too talented to keep giving life to. Shaquille O'Neal added that LeBron has to set the tone early, and can't afford to wait for others to find their rhythm. This is the moment where legends dig deep, he said. If the rest of the team sees Bron going full throttle, they'll follow. Concerns about fatigue and chemistry. Behind the scenes, questions are also growing about whether the Lakers have the right on-court chemistry to pull off a comeback. While LeBron and Doncic have shown flashes of brilliance together, the team has struggled with consistency and late-game execution. There's also concern about player fatigue. LeBron, now in his 21st season, has logged heavy minutes throughout the playoffs. While his leadership remains unquestioned, the physical toll is real, and the Lakers may need others to step up in ways they haven't yet. Anthony Davis, in particular, has drawn criticism for his passive stretches during key moments of the series. If the Lakers are to claw their way back, Davis will need to assert himself more aggressively, both as a scorer and a defensive anchor. Timberwolves stay locked in, sensing blood in the water. Meanwhile, Minnesota isn't letting up. Led by the explosive Anthony Edwards, the Timberwolves have played with a chip on their shoulder and a sense of cohesion that's been missing from the Lakers' side. "We're not satisfied," Edwards told reporters. "We came here to win. We know the Lakers are going to fight, but so are we. We want to close this thing out." The Wolves are playing loose, confident basketball, disrupting passing lanes, controlling the boards, and executing in crunch time. For every slip the Lakers have made, Minnesota has been there to capitalize. A legacy moment for LeBron. For LeBron James, this series could become another defining chapter in a career already filled with historic moments. Coming back from 3-1 isn't new territory for him, it's just rare. He did it famously in the 2016 NBA Finals. But this time, the stakes are different. The expectations are different. And the team around him is younger, more inconsistent, and still trying to forge its identity. Still, James remains composed. No panic. Just purpose. "I've seen it all," he said calmly. "This is just another challenge. And I love a good challenge." Whether he adds another epic comeback to his resume or this becomes a painful end to a hard-fought season, Game 5 will speak volumes about this team's heart, and about how much fight the Lakers have left. The city holds its breath. As tip-off approaches, Los Angeles is watching. Fans are hoping for one more LeBron masterpiece, one more show of resilience, one more reason to believe. Because if the Lakers can get this win, momentum shifts. Doubt creeps in for Minnesota. And the series, once seemingly over, is suddenly alive. But it all starts with Game 5. One game. One chance. One team trying to survive. Rob Pelinka stresses the Lakers' need for size at center after playoff exit. The Los Angeles Lakers' 2025 playoff run came to a disappointing end at the hands of the Minnesota Timberwolves, who eliminated them in just 5 games. What began as a season full of promise ended abruptly, exposing some serious flaws, most notably, a lack of size in the frontcourt. Coming into the series, the Lakers were considered favorites. But from Game 1, it was obvious that Minnesota's size and physicality were going to be a major problem. Los Angeles was forced to play small ball almost exclusively, and head coach J.J. Redick later acknowledged the challenges of competing without a true center on the floor. In his end-of-season press conference, Lakers president of basketball operations Rob Pelinka made it clear, addressing that size issue will be a top priority this offseason. I think it's important to recognize what this team accomplished. We finished third in an incredibly tough Western Conference, Pelinka said. But when you make a major trade at the deadline and shift the structure of your roster mid-flight, it's like trying to build a plane in the sky. Now we've landed, and we have the opportunity to step back, reevaluate, and make the adjustments we need. That's what this offseason is all about. Pelinka was candid about the ripple effects of the Lakers' trade deadline moves, particularly the decision to trade away their starting center in favor of acquiring a high-level guard. When you swap out your starting big man for a guard, there are going to be consequences. We saw that play out in real time, he admitted. This summer, one of our clearest priorities is adding size to our front court, especially at the center position. That's just one piece of the puzzle, of course. We've got free agents to evaluate, and those decisions will take shape over the next few months. But we know this roster needs work, and it will look different next season. Pelinka also noted that while the team was aware of the size issue at the trade deadline, the compressed timing made it difficult to fully address it. There are rules that prevent me from discussing specific trades, but generally speaking, we knew back then that this team needed more size, especially at the 5, he said. When you trade arguably the league's best center to Dallas in exchange for a guard, you open up a huge hole. We didn't have the time or flexibility to fully address that right away. But now we do, and we will. Looking ahead, Pelinka emphasized that the Lakers front office is already working diligently. The upcoming NBA Combine in Chicago will be a key opportunity for executives around the league to begin planning off-season moves. One thing you learn in this business is that unexpected opportunities always arise. That's the nature of the NBA, Pelinka said. And our focus is to be ready to add the size we need to be true championship contenders next season. It was clear throughout the series that the Lakers were undersized against a team like Minnesota. What remains to be seen is how Pelinka and his team will reshape the roster over the summer. What kind of center are the Lakers targeting? Pelinka also shared some insight into the specific qualities the Lakers will look for in a center this offseason. Ideally, we'd love to find a big who's a vertical threat, a lob target, and someone who can protect the paint defensively, Pelinka said. Those are the core traits we're looking for. But we're also open-minded. There are different types of centers who can be effective in today's NBA. He added that stretch bigs who can defend the rim will also be considered. I wouldn't want to limit it to just one archetype. What's clear is, we need a center. A rim protector would ease the defensive burden on the perimeter, while a lob threat could give Luka Doncic the ideal partner in pick-and-roll situations, something that was missing during the playoffs. Front office faces pressure to deliver after early exit. The Lakers' early postseason elimination has sparked frustration among fans and fueled speculation across the league. Many analysts have pointed to the roster's lack of interior presence as a glaring weakness that ultimately cost them a deeper playoff run. With the team's championship window still open, thanks largely to the presence of Luka Doncic, there's a growing sense of urgency within the organization to get things right this summer. Sources around the league suggest that the Lakers are already exploring multiple avenues to address their frontcourt issues, including potential trades, mid-level exception targets, and the upcoming NBA draft. With limited cap flexibility, the front office will need to be both creative and aggressive in pursuing solutions. Pelinka's remarks about the team needing size weren't just generalities. They were a public acknowledgement of a strategic failure, and also a message to fans and players alike that change is coming. League-wide reaction to Lakers' situation. Executives around the NBA have taken note of Pelinka's comments. Some view them as a signal that the Lakers could be active players in the trade market, potentially targeting experienced centers who can make an immediate impact. Names like Jarrett Allen, Mitchell Robinson, and even a possible reunion with Brook Lopez have been floated in league circles. Former players and current analysts have also weighed in. On ESPN's NBA Today, Kendrick Perkins remarked, "You're not going to win in today's NBA with 5 guards on the court and no interior presence. The Lakers have the star power, but they need to balance that roster if they want to be taken seriously next year." Meanwhile, J.J. Redick, still in his first year as head coach, faces his own share of scrutiny. While Redick was praised for his tactical acumen and ability to manage egos, many believe he wasn't given the tools to succeed, particularly after the roster overhaul mid-season. Pelinka's comments seem to back that sentiment, suggesting the organization is prepared to give Redick a more complete and balanced roster in year 2. What comes next? As the NBA off-season calendar approaches key milestones, the draft combine in May, the NBA draft in June, and free agency in July, the Lakers front office will be under the microscope. With several players entering free agency, including key rotational pieces, roster turnover seems inevitable. There is also the question of how involved Luka Doncic will be in the team's decision-making process. Known for his high basketball IQ and strong relationships with teammates, Doncic is expected to have input on personnel decisions, especially when it comes to identifying a center that complements his style of play. Internally, the organization believes that with the right additions, the Lakers are not far from contention. Pelinka ended his press conference with a note of determination. "We're not interested in incremental steps. We're here to compete for championships. And every move we make this summer will be with that goal in mind." Lakers fans await off-season moves with cautious optimism. For fans, the frustration of a first-round exit is still fresh. But many are cautiously optimistic, encouraged by the team's acknowledgement of its weaknesses and a clear plan to correct them. Social media has been abuzz with roster suggestions and dream trade scenarios, from targeting big-name free agents to developing younger talent. The sense is that the Lakers are at a crossroads. Add the right pieces, and they could be in the finals next year, miss again, and they risk wasting another year of Doncic's prime. Whatever happens, one thing is certain: this offseason will be one of the most pivotal in recent Lakers history.